The Prime Minister and his team are delighted and relieved. State visits are far from a new tool in the British armory of soft power, but they are frequently a useful one, and particularly with an unpredictable ally with an abiding love for the UK in general and its monarchy in particular. That was why, back in February and brandished with a flourish, Sir Keir Starmer delivered the King's invitation to US President Donald Trump for a second such visit. Gratefully received as it was, his British host still needed to pull it off, and the Prime Minister still needed to make it through the potential roller coaster of a news conference with his guest. And that is what Sir Keir managed, and so hence his team's relief. They have now, on several occasions, managed to tame Trump during their joint public appearances. It is not that the two men agree on everything, far from it. Their instincts, communication styles, and politics are wildly different, but Trump's disagreements with Sir Keir were somehow channeled past him, rather than at him. The UK is expected to recognize a Palestinian state in the coming days, when, from Downing Street's perspective, the president is safely back on his own side of the Atlantic. The president acknowledged to me he disagrees with the Prime Minister on this. He said so explicitly, but gently, and only at the end of a lengthy answer which Starmer would have agreed with the thrust of. Even his remarks about illegal immigration, while headline-making, seemed to have less impact in the second half of the first year of his second term. The president's willingness to comment on the internal politics of an ally feels more priced in, and so carries less shock value for many. UK could use military to control borders, Trump suggests to Starmer. Trump says he didn't want London Mayor Sadiq Khan at state banquet. In pictures, Trump and Melania meet royals at Windsor, who was on guest list at state banquet. Watch, pomp and protests on first day of Trump's visit in advance of the news conference. There had been much speculation about the potential for his mood to sour instantly on the mention of the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. But confronted by it, and asked in particular about Epstein's friendship with the former British ambassador to the United States, Lord Mandelson, he instantly smothered it as if with a fire blanket. His answer was curious, claiming he didn't know Lord Mandelson, despite them meeting in the White House last week, for a start. Downing Street may allow themselves to hope theirs is a relationship with the Trump administration that is normalizing and whisper it, at least some of the time bordering on the conventional, and so less demanding on the bandwidth and mental energy devoted to it in its early months. The caveat, of course, with Donald Trump is you never know. This state visit provided the UK with invaluable face time with the president, and so the opportunity to both set out the UK's position and attempt to persuade. The Prime Minister has been successful in the former, but the persuasion bit, that's rather more tricky. US President Donald Trump has strongly condemned the beheading of an Indian-origin hotel manager, allegedly, by a Cuban illegal immigrant in Dallas last week. The time for being soft on these illegal immigrant criminals is over under my watch, Trump said in a post on his Truth social platform. Chandramouli Nagamalaya, 50, was attacked with a machete by his co-worker Yordanis Cobos Martinez in front of his wife and child, following a heated argument over a broken washing machine. The accused, who is now in custody, has been charged with murder. Trump has long vowed tougher enforcement against undocumented migrants, making it a central plank of his policy. Trump said Mr. Cobos Martinez will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law and will be charged with murder in the first degree. He also criticized the Biden administration in his post, saying Mr. Cobos Martinez was previously arrested for several crimes, including alleged child abuse, but was released back into society because Cuba declined to accept his return. According to the Department of Homeland Security, Mr. Cobos Martinez is an undocumented immigrant with a final order of removal from the U.S. The department claims he was in custody at a detention center in Dallas, but was released on an order of supervision in January after Cuba would not accept him because of his criminal history. Nagamalaya, who belonged to the southern Indian state of Karnataka, worked at the Downtown Suites Motel in Dallas. He went to school and college in the southern Indian city of Bengaluru before moving to the U.S. in 2018. His son graduated high school recently and is preparing to begin college, according to a news report on NDTV News Channel. The assault took place on 10 September. The police said they received a stabbing call, and a preliminary investigation determined that Mr. Cobos Martinez had cut the victim with an edged weapon several times. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement (ICE) has lodged Mr. Cobos Martinez with the Dallas County Jail, where he is being held. Nagamalaya's funeral was held on 13 September in Flower Mound, Texas, and was attended by family and friends.